No, yeah. Double core always feels awkward because the second phase is just that follow up. And they go for the same lane, which I do agree with. Again, without having that dispel, I feel like this is going to pan out a little bit better for them. And again, another hero to just punish you for ever going for a cold embrace because you die, you're standing still, you're versus a Skyreth mage, you're setting up for him at that point. So, gonna have to see KJ be very patient, I think, when it comes to his spell usage in this game. And then Kara's hero,
Uh,
okay, the Jakiro, a hero that really only one other team has respected quite heavily, that of course being the Rats, but Ravens take maybe a page out of their book. Absolutely love it versus the Tusk. Of course, Ice Path persists for so much longer now, and just another second added on top of it, but that could be enough to catch you out in a snowball. Great versus the Birds, great versus the Cold Embrace. Again, really great stuff. But Bat Rider comes through because it did evade the bans, and again, Wolf Team are using their opponent's bans against them a little bit here. So really, I love the Jakiro pick, but both teams are getting fantastic lineups so far.
and Ravens felt the need to ban out the Queen of Pain to protect their own mid pick, so Zeus gets to play the Bad Rider, and well, when he doesn't have to lane against the Queen of Pain, we've seen Zeus have some pretty spectacular showings on that bat. So it does mean at this point Wolf Team are maybe not the most durable lineup in the world, but we'll see what they pick up on HFN to maybe try to address that. And at this point, ET, well, I mean, the Medusa hasn't been banned. It's always going to be an option, and Wolf Team once again with last pick could just save it for basically 24, and then Ravens might be in some trouble. But they're not going to ban it out just yet. It's the Juggernaut instead.
Yeah, and I respect it. I think it's another one of those solution heroes, as we always talk about, versus Primal Beast, but we'll have to see if that would have been something that they would have even winked at, because I think is a little bit less set up for in this game, but also naturally having spell immunity versus Ravens looks pretty good right now. Don't think they would turn the draft around and go for a life stealer though. I feel like Nakes is just simply not a good enough hero right now. We've
Yeah.
seen it once or twice, but really only whenever every single other carry has been banned out and only in last pick. So we'll have to see. But I think if they are looking for something like that, it'll be kind of a few and far between choice, as Wolf Team actually want to ban out more illusion carries. Okay. Kind of indicates that they want something that's going to, could be very likely a raged hero. Honestly, Luna probably still looks the best for both these sides. And again, Ravens, is this going to be the Medusa ban, or do you say, no, we don't care. We're going to pick something for Dodd. We're going to maybe even go for Drow Ranger early here to get our head or ourselves ahead in the carry matchup. But yeah, if HFN wants it, now it's free and clear. And Ravens, they could also steal it if they wanted to, but that would have to be a choice. And they pick
Oh.
Faceless Void instead. Okay. Even more setup, even more control. Faceless Void Primal. It's been a combo that Ravens have run so many times in the earlier part of this tournament. Just a lot of control, a ton of team fight, setup for both your Jakiro and your Skyreth Mage. I mean, makes Ravens lineup look like a perfect draft. But now, do Wolf Team do it to them? Do they say, oh, we don't care. We're just going to go for it anyway? I honestly think both Luna and Medusa are both great heroes here. Just something to not only help you out with the push, but also be a little bit too tanky to actually get taken down. And I think that's where they're going to have a lot of time to deliberate this hero pick. But no, I think they're going to be happy with it, whatever they choose.
Yeah, if they pick either of those two that you just outlined, they're going to be pretty happy. But I will say now on the Ravens side, you have taken the Faceless Void. Good. That's a pretty solid pickup here. But now, even more so than it already was, anytime you're looking to do anything, where is KJ? Do we see him? Can we kill him? Can we stop him? Can we stun him? Can we something? Because the Winter's Curse in the middle of your Chronosphere is going to make you feel very, very bad.
No, it definitely is. And of course, it is a risk. And I think that's why they go for the Faceless Void after, again, seeing Wolf Team ban out the Naga, because they know that there's not going to be that third hero they need to catch in the Chronosphere to actually play. But that's where I do wonder what HFN is going to think here for how to spoil up this Faceless Void. Because I think the Ursa was an interesting ban. Not necessarily because I think it's great versus Void, but just getting Aegis is fine. And yeah, there you go. Safely, it is the HFN Medusa saying, do you have enough damage for me? If you dump everything on me, well, my teammates are going to run you over, This is a who's the bigger dog situation for sure here. But Wolf Team pretty much get the exact same draft here, and all of their heroes fulfill very similar roles. But we'll have to see if the team fight capabilities of Ravens is enough for them to actually execute and outperform their opponents here. Because if Ravens get a perfect team fight, they have so many spells, they have so much utility, and utility is great. But do they have the damage? Is the real question.
Hmm. Yeah, you can hit them up with the Chronosphere, but you actually have to kill people in it or very close to the end of it in order to win those fights. But hey, you've got Skywrath, you've got Jakiro, so your supports are at least going to be able to pull their own weight. It's just a matter of how much damage does Dodd do himself, and then can Benjaz and Yengo Flow get in there in the back line? Because as you said, if the fight goes perfectly, there's no way to stop it, really. It is going to come down to KJ at that point. So a similar draft for Wolf Team, but I feel like Ravens have something that they are more comfortable and confident in compared to what they ran in game one.
Mm-hmm. And Kara can be a little bit more involved now. I felt like that Dazzle, despite having great shallow graves and great plays kind of individually, you got the Ag Shard, and I felt like you got to use it twice. You were
Yeah.
just never the aggressors from that point forward. You were always on the defensive. And again, I still think there was a lot more game to game one than Ravens were really letting through, but I do think that they're frustrated. And maybe this is Wolf Team just pushing all the right buttons, but we'll have to see because everything is either going to work out or Ravens will cast every single spell in their arsenal and the Medusa will still be alive and then they're all dead.
Ravens willing to take that risk at this point, though, right? They've lost 3 straight games in this playoff bracket. Would not be great for the ego, for the morale, to drop 4 straight and get knocked out of playoffs when, well, I mean, you earned the #1 seed. Very rarely, uh, in Pro Series or really in any playoff bracket for that matter, do we see the #1 seed go winless. So they've still got a hell of a lot to prove here on the Ravens side. Let's see if they can do it.
No, they definitely do. And we just want our good game of Dota, you know? Sick of these 30-minute games. Everybody's just losing too quickly. It's not the same. But also, you couldn't ask for a better path for Wolf Team, because assuming that they do beat Ravens here, then, well, they move past. They have to go versus NA next time around after our next set of games. And then suddenly, well, is that a position that you're comfortable in? I feel like if you're Wolf Team, it definitely is. A lot of the NASA games did end up going 1-1, but picking up speed right now, I think with how varied your hero picks are as well, it could be a massive kind of buff up coming into the playoffs. And again, it's that best of 3 format that we're hyping up this entire time, but it changes so many different aspects. It's where having that flexibility can just change the game for you and make a team like Wolf Team, who wasn't so hot in the group stage, look that much better.
Wolf Team, all of that to consider, but they're not thinking about it right now. They've got business to handle. They got to close out this series first before they can start looking ahead to potential future opponents. Because this is still Ravens. This is still the team that went 12-4 in the group stage. They're still very dangerous, and you know the old adage about a wounded and cornered animal, right? The Ravens, with their backs against the wall here, facing elimination. Presumably, they're going to give it everything they've got.
No, and they've got to. Otherwise, this is going to be a pretty sad game. But that's where we're getting down to the lanes. I think, as we saw pretty much in the last in game one, probably not enough spell damage to actually do anything. But oh,
Ingo Flo's taking a lot of stacks there. He didn't have the swashbuckle either, but he was willing to just kind of tough it out. And surprisingly enough, it works well for him because he traded out just as much damage onto Suits.
yeah, and this is the lane that we saw RCY in actually, where he just absolutely bullied Suits to an almost unplayable circumstance. So maybe this is Suits' revenge here, but we'll have to see. In that game, it was just a few mistakes, and then suddenly, you know, you snowballed out of control. But I think this is a lane that Batrider can exist in. It's just not getting greedy is the name of the game here. And of course, maybe even rushing boots before bottle, I think would be smart. That's something that Quinn himself does in Ember versus Batrider. Instead of just immediately going for the bottle, just make sure that he has enough movement speed to actually get those napalm like stacks reset before you actually have to walk back to the lane. Because it can be a snowball situation. All it takes is one death, and then suddenly you're a level and a half behind, and then Suits just bullies you off of every single rune.
And, I mean, if there's a player in the mid lane to emulate, Quinn's not a bad choice, mechanically, strategy-wise. So, see how this plays out when the match resumes, because Flow has a point up now in the Swashbuckle, but level 1 Swashbuckle after you already used Shield Crash, I don't really think you should do this. I don't think it's going to result in a kill for him. He's just going to hold the mana. So, game's back underway. To be honest, not sure what the pause was for, but it wasn't a very long one, and we'll take our attention and swing it over to some of these other matchups, CT. Starting down bot, Benjaz and Dismar looking for a little bit of redemption after the lane in game 1 wasn't quite what they wanted it to be, but let's see if they get to play a little bit more aggressively this time around.
Yeah, and again, I think this lane has a lot more potential just because there isn't as much healing, there isn't a dispel. You feel that 40% slow from the concussive shot each time, but that's where they also do need to be careful of giving HFN too many of these free levels. And right now, I think making sure that this large camp stack, or even just camp does spawn, is going to be pretty big. And HFN actually wanted to walk over and block it, but just is a little bit too slow. Medusa just isn't able to make that rotation, but no, this is a pretty nice start. And with the lane so far up, of course, Benjaz is just going to be able to take all these creeps underneath the tower, does not really care.
Yeah, he's just going to get his experience. HFN now going to try to pull back a little bit. Well, KJ is not going to get this pull off. Dismar's able to just kind of break it up a little bit. So now HFN will go for a different pull. Does he get this one? Well, not really, because the creep waves meet anyway. But up in the top lane, Kara and Dot able to make a little bit of a push in here, only at level 2, so not the highest amount of damage, but with King RD not having the snowball, there was no sort of defensive presence there, so FCR gets taken down.
Also just gets caught in a mistake where Dot actually could slow him up with the time dilation as well. It's where Kara just used both spells, and then you want to make the Soul Assumption trade happen, which you do, but in doing so, Dot actually has just that much more of an advantage over you, but something you got to be careful about if you're FCR.
Can't afford too many deaths on that Visage, otherwise, well, you're going to find yourself in a situation like we saw Benjaz in yesterday, where you're here, you're the Visage, but you don't really get to do normal Visage things, and, well, then you kind of lose a lot of the purpose of your hero in the first place. Meanwhile, what in the world is this? Flow's getting completely jumped behind his tower. Sooth's playing some bully ball here, and if he hits the flame break, that might have been enough damage for the kill, but Swashbuckle was up, so Seuss didn't want to throw it out there, thinking maybe his opponent would be able to dodge it, but he's still playing keep away at this point, and Flow, I don't think this is a good idea. He's going to Swashbuckle himself out of it. The flame break, though, does hit, and the DOT is going to not finish him. Wow.
Yeah, flame break sucks.
Oh,
I
man.
hate flame break. No, he took like 10 damage from that tick, something like that. And then Dispar gets the better of the click. So Suits actually is going to get his lane kind of pressured a little bit more here. Of course, Winter Wyvern did just die, so going to actually be able to refill up the Batrider's bottle. But that's probably 3 creep waves that the Pango ended up missing because of his matchup, which is not fun. But yeah.
Not willing to take the risk. Realizing KJ's still here, so let's not go crazy and potentially give the Batrider an advantage. So the lane effectively resets there. And we did kind of point out because he TP'd mid to refill the bottle, but KJ did get taken down in that bottom lane. He's now going to try and return there, but Seuss needs a little bit of help again because Flow does try to push, but this time the TP from King RD is going to be in time for the stun. I think Seuss might still die here. No, still alive.
Lost vision.
25 HP. He's going to be able to get away. Can King RD finish this kill off, though? 1 or 2 more hits, but there's the concussive shot, and yeah, he's going to have to back it off. But they got the kill that they wanted. They take down the Pango. It does still mean your bat has to go all the way back to base ET, but he gets to do so with a little bit of extra gold in his pocket.
Yeah, and then he gets the TP back to mid while Flow is smoking himself back to mid because, yeah, this matchup is just a hell of a thing. And of course, once the Pango's level 6, doesn't need to be nearly as worried, and you can actually just start rotating on the map. But until then, this is probably the saddest I've seen Flow in a game so far here. And he used both his spells, and King RD, again, just didn't walk too far away. Now he can switch aggro to the Tuscan. Well, this is a very similar performance that we've seen in this matchup.
Absolute bait and a half there coming out from that duo. Of course, Ravens, they do manage to get in with the level 4 on the Primal Beast. They jump onto HFN and they kill him. And actually, it's level 5 on the Primal Beast. And I only note that because this skill build is a little bit different. No Onslaught, 3 points in Trample, and 2 in Uproar.
Yeah, and I guess perhaps just wanting the extra armor because he's playing versus Medusa, and I think maybe just learning about the last lane that Benjaz was in, because a lot of the times he would just get right-clicked off of kills, but hey, if you get the kill regardless, sure. And that was very cheap. Benjaz is full HP and mana after the salve. It's where once this Garth Mage gets a mana reset, and probably will look to either deliver or help Nengo flow out a little bit here as well. It's
Zeus is
happening
going
again.
again. That CP from Dismar is way too late to save. Maybe he can get a return kill. Zeus, though, trying to heal up with the bottle in between hits, so... Well, he keeps getting away with it. 3-0 now for the Bat. This time he does it by himself without needing the proverbial training wheels of the Tusk. In this middle lane, ET... What do you do now if you're the Pangolier? Because you take a look at his net worth, he's straight broke.
Yeah, it's tough because you would say, oh, he just bottles up, he just runs around, but he probably doesn't even want a bottle at this point, maybe later, but it's literally just as soon as he hits level 6, you probably don't even want to gank the Medusa's lane. You probably just walk all the way up top, you try to kill FCR, and then you hope for the best, but Lengleflow has not kept himself clean enough for this game so far. He is really starting to struggle. While the Batrider is farming up stacks, the Tusk now is taking the lane up versus the Pango because King RD just feels like there's no way he dies versus a Pango that is this far behind. We'll have to see because 8-minute runes, maybe we got something else, but no, TP bottom, don't get a punch at Benjaz.
Benjaz just went in
Long
alone.
TP.
Kara's not even, or excuse me, not Kara, Dismar's not even here. I mean, I guess Kara's not either, but that's irrelevant because Benjaz is getting hit up. Can he somehow get away? Tag team slowing him down. Concussive shot will not get there in time, and HFN's even the one to get the kill. So all of a sudden, Ravens, it's only 4-3 in terms of the kills, but the impact these kills are having, it's allowing Wolf Team to really do everything that they want right now, and they could wrap around again. Dismar's got to be very careful here. Well, he's going to get hit up by the snowball. There's going to be the tag team. They've got the Mystic Snake coming in as well. That's about as easy as it gets. Another kill for the Dusa.
Oh, these lanes are kind of going out of control here. And then you'd hope that instead of trying to help the rest of the map, they would just make sure that FCR is shut down. And they are kind of doing that, but FCR's Visage, he's already level 6. He is happy. He is not really too bothered, and they can't put enough pressure. It's where there is that issue from Ravens where do they have enough damage? They do chrono him. Okay.
This isn't
Got a
going as
stick.
quickly as they want. Stick popped. Slow comes in. KJ will TP. There's going to be the Cold Embrace. They don't have the damage to get through it. And now Dodd, well, he has no Time Walk for 10. He might just go down here. He's going to get stunned up. Dropping low. Can they finish him off? 5 seconds for Time Walk. It looks like FCR actually... Yeah, he might have wanted to focus on the guy right in front of him because Kara was able to take him down, but KJ finishes the job, and there's King RD to snipe out the kill anyway. Dodd does not get away, and it's worth sort of noting before any of that went down, ET, as that fight started, they killed the Pango again.
Yep, they did. And now HFN is on the run, and it looks like he will go down here. So they get something at least for showing all of their heroes across the map and using quite a bit of mana, but still, HFN is going to recover. He's top of the net worth still. He's very satisfied with his position, and he's level 8. If he needs to, he can rotate out and then just go for this tower trade. Rakara is going to try to hold onto this top tier 1 as long as humanly possible, but we'll see how feasible that is, because the Batrider is about to TP out onto the map, and you know he's going to just immediately either start farming or start getting aggressive yet again, but what does Nengo Flow do?
It's a
Got
hasted
roll.
Tusk, though.
Got levels, but oh yeah.
Up to the top, spot out Kara. Easy kill, back on the tower, although where's the creep wave? They lost it, so they do have to wait a second, but this is the siege wave coming up, so should be able to turn that into a trade. They already lost their tier 1 down bot because Dodd just sticks it and is able to clear it out, but that gold will even in just another moment or two.
No, definitely will, and they are pinging the Medusa. This could be a nice way to get Nengo Flow
Hmm.
back into the game, would be taking out HFN here. And you do have that Skywrath Mage ulti. The Mystic Flare is online, so HFN, yeah,
Stone Gaze
gonna pop the
popped.
ulti, but
Mystic Flare is a little off the mark because of the knockback there, so Nyengo Flow doesn't have the damage. Now he's going to get caught. Who can come to save him? Well, not Benjaz, because he already used Onslaught. Nyengo Flow's just got to try and get out. He does use the Swashbuckle effectively, but there's that Flame Break. Still not the highest damage in the world, but when you got teammates backing you up, it's a little bit easier. And HFN actually is the one to find the kill again. Asus, whoa. That was not a good idea. Just goes in solo onto 3, and now King RD's got to use the snowball to get himself out of here as well. And he just kind of hand some of that back. It was great. You continued to bully the Pango, and then the Batrider just kind of forgets that he's not unkillable.
yeah, was definitely expecting to get the Jakiro before the Ice Path came out, and then probably just drag him away and get another free kill, but wee bit of a feed. Yeah, teammates too. Both the Visage and the Tusk were trying to collapse on mid, but yeah, nobody is immune to feeding in this game. It's the one thing Dota players can always make us assured of. But no, this is still a very good position to be in if you're Wolf team. Ravens will still struggle to get any damage onto that mid tower. It'll still be very difficult for them to make those plays. And they can't really afford to slow down either. You need to keep on making this continuous plays happen with the Primal Beast and the Skywrath Mage. It's where they really have to rely on their pickoff potential a lot, but also where I think we're going to slow down to that same degree where Benjaz gets his BKB before they can really do anything too crazy. They are going to smoke up, and they're looking for the Visage top. Rotation, we've seen so many teams attempt, but not really be able to connect. They've got a deep ward as well, but I think they're just going to whiff.
Yeah, this is not really looking like it's going to hit up, but... Well... No, I was thinking maybe if they go south, they could catch out someone like Suits, but he's already falling back, so... Unfortunate. The smoke play out of Ravens will not hit, and now... Well, I don't know. Do you double down? Do you try and smoke again? Do they back it off and just play slowly? Although, I feel like the answer to playing slowly can never really be sure, let's do it, because there's a Dusa on the other side, right? And this Faceless Void opted not to go for the Midas build. He opted for the Mask of Madness here instead, so I don't think you're going to catch up if you're just naturally farming over time, as Dodd's going to give this a go. They do manage to get off the Cold Embrace, but will it be enough? Yes, it will. KJ comes in with the ult, and he onslaughted into it. The Dodd is in some serious trouble here. Can they keep him locked down? Yes, they can. Dodd will fall. Stone Gaze now coming out from HFN, actually ending there, rather, so... FCR has to do some dancing. Can he get himself away from Yengo Flow? As of right now, yes, he can. And actually, the Pango, he has to try to run, but the Snowball is still going to catch him out. King RD's got the punch, and there's no way out for the Pango. He used everything he had, and ET, I mean, they get the Batrider, I guess, at the end of the day, but if you take a fight with Chrono and you don't win it, what is there left to try now?
No, and that was not the connection they wanted. Kara was unable to hit anyone else except for the single target in his Ice Path. He didn't get those multi, and now Kara is trying to defend the mid tower. It's a little bit of a dive, so they are going to respect their opponents here, as well as the respawn timers, so don't want to give up anything, but that was not the team fight they were looking for, and very expensive. They don't have Chrono now for another 90 seconds. They're still getting pressured pretty heavily, and that was a fight taken without the Wraith Pact, so this follow-up fight is going to be that much more difficult. Benjaz even onslaught, cancels it, thinks better of it. Okay, Courier.
Okay, yeah, where exactly was that supposed to be going? Because KJ's back on his own side, so... I think he might have tried to micro it earlier on and then forgotten about it. It's a bit unfortunate. But yeah, for Benjaz, sort of going back to him, ET, he's working his way towards a BKB, but it's not going to be up for a little while still, so... This was the surge that Ravens tried to work with in Game 1, right? They tried to go in on the triple BKB play, and obviously there were some things that sort of transpired to make that not work out as well, but if they're looking for something similar here, that build's not really coming. Yengo Flow is looking for the Diffusal to try and help deal with the Dusa, so they won't have that magic immunity, and, well, with no magic immunity, King RSD says, I'm into the fight. free and easy kill, take the tower off the back of it, and Nyengo Flow, do you want to be here? He is still holding on to Rolling Thunder, but he's just going to back away.
With how successful, again, King RD's rotations have been, King RD's got a full blink. You need to be so careful now showing in these side lanes. Otherwise, you're just going to get blink, punched, set up on these side lanes, and then killed off. And
You're looking for the
top.
faceless.
This is a very difficult kill, though. One that has a pretty low odds. Even though King RD does TP up there, I think they should probably either look for a smoke or find a way to connect to KJ, because he's the man that would have the wards and has the smoke. But instead, King RD says, HFN, you're in a mildly dangerous spot. I'm going to sit behind you with my snowball, because now it is almost impossible for you to die.
And I believe that's the Manta finished off here too. Yep, there's Recipe coming out to him. So, well, HFN just doing HFN things. 1,600 gold ahead of the Faceless Void, and, well, now's around the time HFN starts transitioning over to the Scotty ET, and once he has that, Faceless Void doesn't get to move, Pango doesn't get to move, Benjaz is going to have trouble maneuvering as well, so the clock is ticking. Ravens need to try and make something happen here, and they do have Chrono back up.
They want to make a play, but we're also just seeing so many items get finished. There's going to be a BKB on your Bat Rider. Of course, the Mantis Tower just finished. Going to be drummed soon for FCR. And Ravens just aren't able to confidently team fight yet. And I'm not sure if it's going to need to be a Blink Dagger on Nengo Flow, or they do just want to wait for this full BKB on Benjaz, but they're just doing a whole lot of waiting right now, which, of course, look over at HFN, who is still just farming, and if he's looking at a Scotty to go against your item timing here, HFN just wins those. You're a Scotty Medusa.
Okay.
But yeah, okay.
Pulverize into Mystic Flare. They did manage to punish out Dismar on the backline, though. Catch him with the lasso, but Benjaz just onslaughted forward onto Seuss, which means he now has no way out. Kara's going to try to come over to help. Yengo Flow pushing in as well. They do have FCR in their sights. He's got the stone form, though, and there's KJ coming in. Going to drop the curse. They'll hit him up with the flame break, and Yengo Flow very low on HP. He's still going to try to push forward, though. Can they actually do this? Cold Embrace buying a lot of time, but there's Dodd coming in, drops the Chrono. TP from the Dusa is inside of the Chronosphere, so he wasn't able to get any immediate damage out, but now Stone Gaze popped. He's pushing forward. Kara dropped low, taken down. Benjaz in some trouble as well here on the high ground. Just going to try and really run his way out, and with the Onslaught up in one, maybe he can make it. So he will manage to escape.
No, that is a huge fight for Ravens, though, and even though gold-wise, it is pretty much dead even for what both these teams were able to get, but that was the literal perfect chrono. Dodd could not have done anything better there. You get the Medusa TPing in, you get the two heroes, you get the Bat Rider kill, and you propel yourself a little bit further forward. But it's still chrono, and you're versus a Visage team, so they are just going to immediately march into the pit, because you are out of spells. There's nothing you can do now. And HFN even is switching up his build, saying that maybe if I need to, just go for this. And they're fighting for the high ground, actually. They're changing it up.
They caught Kara. They're going to be able to hit him with a punch. Can they drop the Shikiro down? He does have 6 seconds for the Macro Pyre, but he's not going to have that much time. HFN finds a kill. Onslaught now from Benjaz, trying to get in there. Mystic Flare is going to be enough to kill off King RD. But look at the backline. Seuss is being very disruptive here. Pops his BKB now as well. They know that there's no Chrono to really just cancel him out, so he's going to go straight onto Dismar, and will find the kill. With the BKB wearing off, it's time to back away. Wolf team, I don't know. They do take control of the high ground, but this fight could still go as Benjaz is going to jump in. He's caught out the Wyvern. Can he get a curse off in time? Yes, he can. And Dodd was not in a position to really do anything there. He still jumped forward anyway, so he was caught in it. Benjaz gets taken down. They'll finally finish KJ off ET, but well, who cares? He did what he wanted. He dropped the ult. He's okay with dying at that point, and now Dodd is in trouble. Can they get the lasso? Yes, they can. Ice Path doesn't click. And now it's time to run. They're going to try to back off. Stone Gaze, though, is going to get them in position to go on to Yengo Flow. They've got him trapped in the shards. They'll pick up the kill, and Ravens, it is time to cut your losses. This is not going to go the way that you want.
No, and now they're just going to walk back, and of course, they're walking back underneath the Ravens' vision. The sneaky ward has been giving them so much information, but has also baited them so hard into those subsequent fights. And now, well, What were we doing? Oh yeah, we were going and killing Roche. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. You wanted to fight us for the high ground, but you had to die so many times just in an effort to try and defend. I mean, it's such a smart play from Wolf Team, really knowing that the Jakiro is going to cause them problems. And well, round two, they do got to get in here though. But this time there is a Chronosphere. There is a big threat. There could be a throw up here.
KJ gets taken down. And Jazz just gonna try and walk this one out. So, okay. In and out, quick kill, stop the Roche attempt, reset. Not a bad move here from Ravens. But they want more. Look at Dodd. Just waiting, watching. Spotted by the familiars though, but he does still get the chrono when it's onto the Dusa. Can they kill him off? HFN still has about half his mana. He's going to pop the Manta, but that shield has been broken through. His teammates are actually on the back line trying to create a distraction, but they need to be able to help him on the front line, and they can't do it. HFN goes down. King RD dead as well. Pulverize, going to catch out the Visage as FCR falls, and ET. Well, you said this could be a throw. Watch out on the Wolf Team side, and they really don't do it. They just kind of assumed Dodd wasn't going to pull the trigger because the familiars were scouting him the whole time, but he just goes in and ults anyway.
Yeah, and then unfortunately for King RD, blinks into his own teammates' kind of death just because he wanted to go for the snowball play. It was right on the edge, so got almost baited into thinking he could save the Medusa and the Chronosphere, but instead just kind of dies. Now they throw away an Aegis, good chunk of gold as well. Didn't have the lasso or their Winter Wyvern ulti either, so big opportunity for Ravens to now go for a pretty massive reset across the board. Actually get to finish a whole lot of these items now, moving more to that realm of luxury, where HFN is now kind of upset that he doesn't have an Aegis in his hands, even though he just finished off his butterfly.
Yeah, the butterfly is going to be very useful, but we see, well, this is a little bit more of a defensive itemization, right? The butterfly and now a BKB queued up for him, so not just the blatant Scotty rush that we saw before as Yengo Flow, getting himself a little caught here. The lasso is going to make sure that he doesn't immediately roll away. Now the snowball too. Oh, there's a little bit of that sort of stellar execution coming back into play that we saw in game one. They just keep him locked down the whole time, and that is a bit of a costly move from the Pangolier. He had been starting the road to recovery here, still the lowest net worth core, but just like that, really going to set him back again.
No, for sure. But that's also where Wolf Team, they are the superior pushing lineup. They've got the Visage. They can get into these buildings a lot faster than you can. It's where Dismar, well, he's kind of on his own here. No defensive items either. Needs a little bit more help to actually take him out, and I think King RD might die to the Primal Beast coming in. We'll have to see, but oh, what a flame break. Okay, well, that saves his teammate.
Oh, Zeus just kind of looking out for his buddy there, and now Dodd is in an awkward spot here. He's going to get punched. They would love to just sort of burn the Aegis off him. King RD needs help, though. He doesn't win this fight straight up, but there's the assistance. Dodd has to time walk the damage off, getting a bash, though, onto King RD, so he does find the kill. And they got him, but where's the help? Here comes the Dusa. Chronosphere is not... Actually, it is available now, so he's just going to throw it out here, and he'll look to turn. Zeus dropping a little bit low. Can he finish him off in time, though? No, he can't, because the Cold Embrace is going to be there, and this is the part where Dodd has to run.
Oh, and now it just feels like a waste. KJ just was able to connect, and even if Kara could get a little bit closer there to just drop everything onto the hero that was Cold Embraced, you still had BKB. You still would have been able to walk that one out. And now you look over at Dodd, who with the Aegis was happy to immediately turn his build around to get this MKB. But you don't have BKB now on the Faceless Void. You don't have spell immunity. You might not be ready for a team fight. And your chrono was just wasted. So Wolf Team have him right where they want him.
It's a rapid fire in this game. The twists and turns, the forces on the itemization as Zeus is going to go in. There's going to be the lasso again. Roll-up's not going to help you there, and Yengo Flow. And, well, God, this Pango just can't catch a break. That's another death. He's 2-10 now, and he did well enough to get this Diffusal Blade a while back, ET, but progress towards anything else just isn't happening.
No, definitely isn't. And, well, knowing the position that your opponents are in, you try the high ground here a little bit. Certainly feels like a risk without the Aegis, but they might not even be looking for the high ground. They're just looking for the glyph. But with the Wraith Pact, with Kara not in the best position either to immediately shut this down, well, we'll have to see. And Kara, you are so far forward. My man, he's got Force Staff, but
you're still a Jakiro, my guy. They're going to turn around, though. Zeus didn't pop his BKB, so He gets caught by Pulverize as well as Mystic Flare, and there you go. You give Kara the benefit of the doubt. It was all calculated. It was simply a bait to get the Bat Rider in there. Only problem is that bait includes the loss of the Tier 3 tower.
And they do have to be careful. If they do decide to walk out towards this bottom lane, they are getting scouted out by a pretty great Ravens ward. But Manta out the wave bottom, Medusa TP's top. They all show. They might find KJ, who's kind of lagging behind here. He's trying to speed away, but then once he gets near this high ground ward, I don't know if Nengoflo should tempt fate anymore. 15 seconds on Chrono as well, so that spell is coming up, but again, they see the Pango inching closer and closer, but smoke from Ravens, at least on the back line. No sentry either, so King RD's just looking to spoil it.
Does he actually make a move, though, at this point? He's got the blink still. Benjes? Okay. Nope, he'll cancel his own onslaught. And now Dodd's going to make his move. There's the Chrono. There's the Mystic Flare. Can they save him? They're going to try to get onto somebody here. But no, King RD actually, he blinked back. They need to save HFN. The curse does come through, though. So HFN getting a little bit of time. Can he walk away? He's trying to get into the trees. Zeus comes in with the lasso connection, but Nengoflo doesn't care. Rolls his way forward. They're going to take the Medusa down, and they didn't kill Dodd. He's still trying to fight his way out of this. Eventually, they'll run him down, but I don't know if Wolf Team really have the strength to go in for another round of fighting, but with FCR still in the middle, they don't have a choice. They're going to try and just really brute force this, and it's kind of working. They take down Dismart. Nengoflo's going to fall as well. BKB starting to wear off on Benjes, so he's got to be careful, but he does lay out for the kill onto the Visage, but his TP is canceled. The Snowball's going to catch him. Zeus needs to get back in position. He's got the blink, though. There's going to be the Firefly coming out as well. Flame Break thrown out. Bounce back onto Benjes. They should be able to take him down. Kara tries his best with the Ice Path, but that means the Familiars get right on top of him, so they're able to lock him down as well. But Benjes, he didn't actually die. He's still trying to walk away. King RD says, get the hell back here, as he will run him down with a snowball, and now they're back onto Kara. Another attempt on the Jakiro's life. This one is going to be successful.
Yeah, and they get the full wipe. And that was almost a situation where you actually get out on the Medusa. He got greedy there. He tried to get the Stone Gaze off instead of just popping his Manta style, so Dismar was able to track him out. But again, it is everything. And of course, you got the Medusa, but it is every ultimate, it is every spell. You use everything for her. And in that fight, you didn't even have that BKB. You rushed the play with your Primal Beast, which is why he has it to maybe clean up a few heroes towards the end of that fight, but just ends up not being the best. And Nengoflo, well, there goes the Rolling Thunder on the deck.
I guess it's better than dying, right? Forced to use it there, but we will simply fall back. But Wolf Team, I don't know, ET, they're starting to feel stronger and stronger. HFN, what's that? That's a full Scotty completed. So, well, he opts for the Scotty over the BKB that he had queued up earlier, but they threw everything they had at him in the last fight, and they weren't able to kill him, and now Nengoflo's going to get caught. Lasso's going to lock him down, and I don't know about this fight. They're going to try and give it a go, but there's going to be the Winter's Curse resetting the fight. Where's Dodd? He's on the back line, but with no Chrono for 5, they weren't ready to go yet. And they're going to get punished pretty heavily for it. Kara's dead. Benjaz is now trying to fall back. He's going to look to get away with the onslaught. He does make it away for now, but the snowball actually still hits him, so he's not going anywhere. They're going to lock him down. They'll kill him off with FCR's Soul Assumption. And, well, I mean, I get it. You rush in, right? Because your Pango gets a little bit hit up there. But with the value he has net worth-wise, maybe you just let him go, because Dodd was not ready for that fight, and without the Chronosphere, you can't pull that play out.
No, and now they're in 2 lanes. They're forcing your racks. They got your glyph. They're in a great spot right now. They do not care in the slightest. And sure, you're going to respawn on this Pango. Your Chrono's alive now, but we are in that danger territory. It's Doomsday. Do you have enough damage to deal with HFN? Can you kill him? Or is this just gonna be it? And this only gets better for Wolf Team. Once they decide to back out of here, they reset, they wait for the next Roche, they drag you through their wards,
see the
and they're
Faceless
looking for
Void.
Dodd. No way.
He's got to get out. He cannot afford to die here, but he also can't afford to use Chrono defensively, otherwise his team just has no defense. So what does he do? He does have to Chrono, but now he's stuck.
But
this isn't going to work. Oh. Rock in a hard place there for the Faceless Void, but you can't help feeling like he made the wrong choice on that one.
and then they try to kill FCR, but FCR kills Dismar, pops the Wraith Pact. Nobody wants to use their BKBs, and now he can just calm to his teammates. You don't have Pulverize, you don't have Rolling Thunder. Are we just back on the mid? I don't see a reason why not.
Yeah, I mean, who's gonna stop him? I don't really know right now. HFN doesn't have to care, even with no Aegis. He's just going to march his way forward. They do need some creeps here, but that should be taken care of in just another second or two, and that's a second lane of Rax gone.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way they can defend it, and they don't have an easy way of scouting the Roche right now, but yeah, I'm eyeing up Nengo Flow a little bit.
He
He
has
might
no
just
Rolling
get
Thunder.
ran down.
Yeah, this is
Well, he
this is not looking good.
He just needs to make sure his TP doesn't get canceled, but FCR is just going to walk you all the way down, and well, Suit's coming in too. Is he going to lasso? Nope, doesn't need it. Okay, does it anyway, just in case. A little bit of a danger there if FCR missed the self-stun with the Gravekeeper's Cloak, but, well, not the most important kill that you could have gotten. Just a nice one, but 3 seconds till Roche. Dodd, what are you going to do now with this Faceless Void? He's still hunting you.
Yep. And he still has no chrono for 45, so just in such a rough position now on Ravens, and man, I don't know, ET. It's night and day. I'm not gonna count them out of it just yet, but the team we saw in group stage is not the team that we're seeing now in playoffs.
No, the team that would stall out games, only play around Roshan, would maybe make, I think, a few mistakes here and there when it came to Dodd's hero choices, but wouldn't really make mistakes otherwise, just kind of falling apart here. And sure, they get scanned out. This is one of the few places where Ravens can fight with their lineup at full strength, just with the way that they're funneled into the pit, but then suddenly HFN says something's up. Kennedy breaks the smoke, he can blink away. They know what's happening. They need to get this D ward going, otherwise they cannot fight.
Who's got the wards here? There it is. Okay. Just take out that vision. Reset yourself. You stopped the Roche attempt as Benj has his animation canceling rock throw. That looks very, very dumb, but I can't stop looking at it. He's just a very angry guy, the Primal Beast.
Yeah, but now this is where Wolf Team are starting to pull you apart. This is the advantage of the supers in the opposite Roche lane, because now in bottom, you've got creeps inside your base. It forces the Pango to show here. Now they can go into the Roshan pit, knock off another 1,000 HP if they want to do that. They can smoke as well, and King RD. Oh, he's in.
Took the wards out. But how does he survive this? He doesn't. Okay. Yeah, that one's a little bit strange from him. He's dead for 60 too, so he doesn't have buyback. I don't know if Ravens know that, but they're at least trying to push forward and do something here. But Zeus, he got the lasso down. They're going to pull the Primal Beast back and away from his teammates. They're not able to finish him off, though, and well, Benjaz, that is going to be his BKB used, but he is trying to reset this fight. In the meantime, Dodd, oh my god, Dodd, you just don't win that. You can't do that. Tries to go in onto the Visage, just gets absolutely blown to hell. HFN now pushes forward with the Stone Gaze, and Ravens, they're going to start to fall apart here. Yengo Flow got caught, Yengo Flow taken down. Kara next up on the chopping block, while FCR is just going to try and run down, and never mind. Okay, GG was called. Ravens are just going to throw in the towel, and ET, the ultimate nail in the coffin. It comes down to a fight around the Roche pit that Ravens mishandled, the one aspect of their game that had been nearly infallible to this point, and they can't make it happen.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it comes out of left field. It comes where you don't expect it. It's where you check every other item, and you're like, who did that come from? Where? How did Dad die here? Oh, it's a hex from HFN. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, because that's what makes sense here. But it just works. It's enough lockdown. It catches him completely off guard. It's why the Faceless Void doesn't get his ultimate off. It's where they lose everything. They walk away from the high ground. They try to push an advantage that they have. There's no Tusk. It's a 4v5. It's the only way that they can take their team fight, and it just doesn't work. It doesn't matter. They give HFN his Medusa 2 times in a row in a lineup that they had to execute perfectly. Nengo Flow dies 14 times on his mid Pango, put into a lane that he just simply couldn't win with rotations from King RD, making it 10 times worse. And Ravens leave early. They're gone. I mean, I'm awestruck. And Wolf Team now have a really great path there to move into, at the very least, top 3 position of this tournament, when nobody was really all too much from them. Everybody was expecting them to kind of fall short with the way that their stand-ins were looking, with the way that their lineup was missing, but they pulled through nonetheless. And I feel like both HFN and King RD, I mean, bravo. Great plays. And even FCR, who, again, mechanically, it's just so high up there. He's just so good at making these plays. And again, being that backbone of the lineup, I mean, maybe we got to give him offlane more.
Yeah, that switch up worked remarkably well, actually. And the reason they could make that switch, which is something I do want to just take a little bit of time to talk about, Ravens, they banned out FCR's techies in both games, but they let the HFN Dusa through. So that just kind of goes to show you, well, it ended up being not the right call, obviously, because they got O2'd, but the amount of respect that FCR demanded on that hero opens the door for this exact switch up. They get to run that lane twice, and I think generally speaking here, ET, we're going to see the headlines probably stolen by the likes of HFN and FCR and Sooths, but show me who played poorly on the Wolf Team side. Show me who made a mistake. You can't find it. Everyone did exactly what they were asked to do when they were asked to do it.
Yeah, no. Every chrono was received with a cold embrace. The Wyvern was never prosecuted. Ravens could never turn their draft around and look for a hero like the Night Stalker. They just ended up with a very difficult lineup to run, and one where if their lanes went poorly, they really couldn't do much about it to help each other out. And yeah, it just ends up being what feels like a very clean, very fast as well 2-0 for Wolf Team. Because
Yeah.
Benjez as well was not having it. He GG'd out both games first time. I mean, he just was not feeling it today. And again, Ravens exit early after being so hot in the group stage. Kind of a shame, but Wolf Team, they're the ones that are here to play now.
Yeah, Wolf Team with 4 straight wins now, looking pretty hot, whereas Ravens have some things to kind of go over as a squad. I don't know what happened between, I guess, the really one day, right? Because we started playoffs right after group stage ended. There did not seem like there was enough time for Ravens to collapse in the manner that they did. So something has to be going on there, and hopefully with this time off before the next DPC season gets underway, they can figure out those problems and either come together as a team or bring in new personnel to fix it, because they had a lot of momentum that now just seems to be completely gone.
Yeah, and now, no, you think is SG now the best team in this tournament? Is that where your Yuma's just gonna pull the rug out from every other team after they had a mess start to their group stage? We'll have to see. And of course, that upper bracket game is going to be very interesting, and everybody
Oh
should
yeah.
watch that one as well. But that's where time to switch up gears, though, because SA versus SA, Wolf team win it, but now NA versus NA time.
Oh yeah. Time to try and rein in our North American bias as much as possible, but there's only so much you can do. It's Cut versus Dog Champ, and we are going to be hyped to hell for that particular best of 3, which will be coming your way next. Before we hop out here though and play some good old-fashioned ads for you, we have, well, technically a different ad. So the ads do start now, but these are different ads. Don't worry about it. We have multiple tiers of ads at this point, but we are going to talk to you a little bit about our sponsor here, HyperX, and the new HyperX Armada 25 FHD gaming monitor, which is now available. You've heard the spiel before. We've been going over it every single day here. So one last time, just for good measure, high quality monitor with IPS panels for the highest available color gamut, meaning they represent the graphics of your games the most realistically, right? And most of us care about things looking pretty realistic there. Does come with that desk mount, as we've been mentioning, so you can set it up however you want on your screen, or on your desk rather. 240 hertz refresh rate, 1 millisecond response time, and NVIDIA G-Sync compatible. So it is high quality equipment, and you can get it at a bit of a discount here during Pro Series 12. You can use the code HXBTS Armada to get up to 20% off MSRP site-wide at HyperX. You can also click on the banner below the video player or check out the code in chat. So once again, that is HXBTS Armada. Go take advantage of the sale. Thank you very much to HyperX for sponsoring Pro Series. So with that done, we're moving on here. Time to get some NA boys into the action. The Cut versus Dog Champ coming up in just a little bit. So stick around, and we'll be right back.